Hello everybody and welcome to another creator-owned video. My name's Robbie and today we're going to be talking about how to make money as a comic book artist. There are a lot of ways to monetize one's artistic endeavors. You can do this by way of commissions, working by project or for salary as a sequential artist. You can sell your artwork in a myriad of ways through a web store. You can crowdfund your creative projects, or you can create through all of that a subscription-based model. Those are the ways that we're going to be talking about in this video. I didn't even make you wait until the end to get all the information. So if you're going to click out, please give me a like and a subscribe on your way out. Just kidding. But no, we're going to get into everything I just discussed there. And I'm going to give you a little more detail on, what approaches you can take to sort of brand and market your own artwork and find opportunities to begin with and create more opportunities down the road for yourself. Commissions are the age-old exchange of your artistic talents for a predetermined fee that someone soliciting artwork pays for. Commissions are how many artists gain their first form of professional experience. This usually starts with either a writer, soliciting, hey, I have a project, this is my budget, and looking for someone who sort of matches the tone and style of their work, or artists will put themselves out there and show examples of their work and say, here's the rates I work for, and people can meet in the middle. It's flexible. It's pretty wide range, but I would say like $75 to $100 is like a modest, kind of generous range, especially for people who are just doing this on their own investment. And a lot of artists too at this point, even though like pencils, inking, coloring, lettering have traditionally been various component parts, a lot of people will do it for full service just because the way technology exists at this point. So when you're seeking commissions, there's a lot of ways this can open up. A lot of people will just be like looking for a single character sketch. Some people just have an idea of something they'd like to see drawn. Some people just are looking for a cover artist to, spend a little more time doing things in, much more detail. The caveat of this is the work will come in and you'll work with someone and, you will get paid in exchange for the time you put into it. But the thing is, like, these projects, they have a logical closure point. This is where I think that as an artist, it's really good to sort of like think now about where you would carve in a niche. It's going to start to make your portfolio a little stronger. And I see a lot of people who, instead of just seeking commissions, some people will draw your pets. Some people will do, pinups or swapping different superheroes into different outfits or designs. One artist I know of, like Chad Sell, he made his career by doing drag queens. That was like to sort of build a following and career, and then moved on to his independent project Cardboard Kingdom. You could do movie monsters, like, some kind of series of artwork, right? Like some people will just, instead of doing like a bunch of Batman villains, will do like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and or Doctor Who, like get into a fandom. I've even seen people go as far to be like Batman villains as craft beers or Batman villains as breakfast cereals. Like these are the kind of things that you can do to just make something like unique and develop a sort of tone that people will expect. I don't know, classic video game cover or like cheesy 70s fantasy novel style. I found my current artist because I was on Instagram and I was looking through the comic book artwork hashtag, and I just found someone who was drawing gangsters, and I was like, I took a closer look, and he also did he did gangsters, he did monsters. It was all like darker toned, and I was like, this is perfect. Like, this is exactly what I was looking for. You know, a series that we're going to do to promote our upcoming comic book project is variant covers with the characters as like a series of classic emo album covers. And, you know, that's just like that sort of idea to sort of craft a niche and be like, you know, I want to cater to millennials, like, you know, former elder emos who grew up in 2008. That's like exactly, you know, what I want to go to, something identifiable, like some kind of like fandom that I can instantly latch onto and sort of try and bring them over because there's something familiar that they will want and they will like, and like meets them on their level. That's like, you know, that's an applicable example of like the ideas I'm trying to give you. After a period of seeking submissions and building your portfolio and your style, it's possible that a project will come along where you get to be the recurring sequential artist on something ongoing. I think that's what everyone is here to look for. But as mentioned, like, I don't know how I'm not an artist, so I don't know how quickly that happens for people. And also, even if you do like one or two issues with somebody, there's the risk that it could fall off at some point. So just something again I want to mention is like, think about your own longevity a little bit with sequential art. There's the, you know, the promise of, you know, a bulk of work, which is good, and it's going to keep you sustained over a longer period of time. Comic books are widely what I would say are like a work for hire gig economy kind of situation where artists and writers, a lot of them are working on a project basis, unless you're attached to something larger scale like Marvel and DC can sustain that has ongoing serialized work and they can afford to pay you a salary. Something like a book, a creator-owned book via Image or Dark Horse, especially something like The Walking Dead or Invincible, the two kind of like pinnacle books I'll cite very often. Like, those are like those companies, right? Like Image and Dark Horse don't really handle their own IP, but Skybound handles its own, and it's possible that Skybound is a large enough company to have and retain, you know, labor that would be paid on a salary basis. But everyone knows not many people get into comic books for the money. It is a labor of love, and a lot of people are just lucky if they can sustain their lifestyle and, you know, have a paying job in comics. But it's going to be a lot of work going to project. The well could run dry if all you're ever doing is seeking commissions and seeking new work. Think of why alternating current beat direct current if you're a Nikola Tesla nerd. But all of the artwork that you are doing has value as you build out your portfolio and your niche, and all of that can be remonetized. And you know, think of that as your passive income. Obviously, if you are an artist who's doing physical material and you're not a digital artist, sure, you could sell that, you know, sometimes for hundreds of dollars, or if you're, you know, really successful, thousands of dollars. But even then, that's like one original piece, and that's going to be gone. Something a lot of artists do is you know, if you're ever at Artist Alley at a comic convention, artists will sell prints. So obviously they're sitting there and they're doing the commissions, but behind the artists, they'll normally have like a wall of prints. And this is usually just in the form of like 11 by 17 posters. But it's a way, you know, to take like my valued design and some of like the more popular work I've done and then resell it for, you know, for less cost, but at scale over time. And it doesn't require any work, you know, because you already did the work in the past. There might be some overhead costs, but, you know, people, and aside from just prints, like people apply that same that same mindset to everything, right? Postcard sets, t-shirts, mugs, body pillows, like, you know, there's like no shortage of things that people will apply their artistic designs to sort of remonetize it and make that effort go a little further. I've also seen people do things like tarot card sets or art books, stickers, even there's just a lot of ways, you want to start thinking about, I hate to put it this way, but think about how your artwork can be turned into a product, right? Because if that's like a way if you want to sustain yourself, you're going to need that to fill in the gaps. It's fair to say here, it's common knowledge that the monthly issue of a comic book, just the same as ticket sales at the box office, are never the main driver of revenue. It's always merchandising, right? It's always people going and buying toys and cups and plushes and little paper plates for birthday parties. Like that's where like all of the money, especially over time, is made for creative projects. So everything I just described, all the various sort of prints you can make and all the ways you can, repurpose the cache of artwork you have stored up. This can also be done via a crowdfunding model, or a crowdfunding rather could be used to embark on some of those larger projects. As mentioned earlier in the video, like some people will do like series of artwork. This could be done in the form of an art book, in a series of postcards, in a series of prints, or like even I said, like a tarot card deck or candles. I don't know. There's all sorts of stuff you could do. And if it's like a slightly larger lift, or if you just know like it's something you want to do, that even if you only need like 30 to 50 people to fund it, and you know who those people are, something like Kickstarter is a valuable platform to sort of just like transact with those people very quickly and all in one place. The value of this, again, is like, instead of waiting for someone to come to you with a commission, you have developed an idea, a series of artwork, and you have created it, and you are going to the population that adheres to, like the people who would like something like that, right? And so now, like, you're being more proactive and going to them. I made a recent video where I really think Kickstarter is a very lucrative platform, and even the major publishers are starting to figure that out. So why shouldn't you use that? But yeah, and the only caveat of this is Kickstarter, these are all or nothing platforms, and these campaigns can, they can be long in the tooth. They can take a lot of time. It's a great method, but if you just want some comfort that you don't have to like always be putting in effort for a big campaign, a subscription model is really something I would consider turning to. Patreon, very popular platform that most people are, most creators are starting to use at this point. So here I am, I'm an artist. I'm doing my enamel pin sets or my sticker sets every month. I have my niche defined. And now it's like you have a core audience, right? You have, even if it's just like 100 people, but every month you're creating stuff that you can make your subscription box and send out to them. If that's enough to sustain you, then great, that should be good enough. And so that's where you can create this cycle of monetizing your followers, giving them something of value, and just creating an opportunity for yourself without always having to go and solicit more work. Something else that's really worth considering is just the fact that something like Patreon, you can monetize your own artistic process. So now, instead of just monetizing, someone approached me for a commission or I made product, what if you went on Twitch every time you were drawing, if you were live streaming on Twitch or recording a video that's, even if it's unlisted on YouTube just for your followers, that can be monetized. People really enjoy these, art process videos, or just sort of background noise, someone who's talking and drawing at the same time. Develop a community and develop people who are going to support you and connect with you. I mean, I'm kind of doing that right now. I'm really enjoying it too. I'm getting to know people, and people are interacting with my videos, and that's awesome. And, I share my creative process because I want it to also be something that will help me in the future. But yeah, and I want to help people, and I think this has developed a really nice community. So that's all I really have to say about it, you guys. I'm really enjoying making these videos. If there's anything I missed, again, I'm not an artist, so if there's anything I missed, please let me know. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or just advice for people who, who can help find their way as an aspiring artist. Let me know if you had any comments of, what else you'd like to see touched on. Future video ideas. I really think the subscription model thing is something I'd like to do a deeper dive on. And yeah, again, I wish you guys luck, and I hope this gives you some ideas of how you can turn your hard invested time into something that, gives you a little more comfort in your daily life. So again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. This is a creator owned video. I'm Robbie, and we'll see you in the next one.